Hello and welcome to the next episode. Now we have left off with losing Mercury and we are going to reclaim it. And for that we need a fleet, which is already starting to be constructed. But we are going to have three major fights on Earth. So these two fleets, this fleet and this fleet. Wait a second, this one is... Okay, this one doesn't matter. So... Probably I'm maybe showing one of them, for example, the Titan, which is showing up here now. That's a... Aye. One heavy mech cannon, 3 light mech cannons, heavy mech battery. Well, at least it's not a plasma. If it were plasma batteries, that would be a problem. But yeah, we are going to proceed forward and then we are going to dive into what else will be happening around that. Of course, I want to increase my science, for example, but I have to be very careful with volatiles currently. So I'm going to lay back a bit in this regard. Well, here we are. Enslave the Masters is done. Also, there will be a battle within this day, so we are going to do this immediately afterwards. Following careful strategizing and wargaming every potential eventuality, it would seem that our plan to subjugate the Hydra requires a three-pronged assault of sorts. First, we required a means of producing synthetic ferrocides at scale. Secondly, we need a hand-picked, carefully vetted team who we can depend on to fearlessly voyage through the wormhole and face unimaginable dangers with no certainty of return. Thirdly, we had to make difficult decisions about the fate of the other major human factions. Who should join us, who should be placated, and who must, for the greater good, be destroyed outright. The first two of these have been successfully achieved. The third must now be enacted to tandem with our final assault against the Hydra. We get 120 control points, 25% greater impact from public campaigns, that's really nice, and plus 10 to purge missions, and we get the Ferrocide Masters Orc. Now, we get probably...
We have reached the point of no return.
So, our Hydra infiltration team has been assembled. The process was straightforward, requiring only development of some more advanced man-portable microfactories. They should be able to mass-produce neo-ferrocides out of the materials available on the other side of the wormhole. Planning for the other factions and sub-factions has proven more complex. At present, our best-fit solutions are as follows. Humanity first, while they have a certain reflex hostility towards private corporations, the prospect of taking control over the Hydras as they attempt to do to us appears to appeal the Humanity first rank and file. As such, we anticipate that a significant fraction of the Humanity first will be amenable to joining us. Resistance. The faction appears devoted both to destroying the Hydra wormhole and to maintaining a traditional power structure in Earth governance. As such, despite their opposition to the Hydras, it appears they must be liquidated. Project Exodus. While their obsession with building a colony ship is somewhat ridiculous, it at least shows vision. The prospect of interstellar colonization may function in the future as a useful safety valve for redirecting problematic elements among the Earth population. They are also the most corporate-friendly of the factions. A negotiated settlement should be viable. Academy. The Academy have consistently treated us with hostility, declaring on multiple occasions that we are no better than the Hydras. They appear entirely intractable, not to mention hopefully naive. We recommend that they be liquidated. The Protectorate. The core membership of the faction appears to consist of ideologues. However, it appears that many others have been attracted to the faction by the prospect of exercising power over a subservient class. The ideologues should be liquidated, but the more cynical members should be made predictable if limited employees. The servants, their entire ideology is based around a fanatical religious devotion to alien supremacy. Liquidate without exception. Okay. that's Lord Pinder. That's a lot of zeros here. So we have assembled all we need to execute hostile takeover, not only the Hydra invasion force, but the Hydra Empire itself. The wormhole is the key. Deploy our infiltration teams to the Hydra wormhole base. Send them through to the Hydra homeworld and complete our conquest. Have our consular assign the Ferrocide Masters Orc to target the alien wormhole module at the primary Cooper build base with the Tame the Enemy mission. To launch the Counselor mission to win, we must first fulfill the following goals to ensure our victory. Our faction must control with at least 60% of Earth's GDP. We control a nation when we have the executive control point and more than half of the control points in the nation. So we are already 38% there. That's okay. So we need just to take over China or India or US, 2 of them probably. Have a fully built surface base with all modules at least tier 3 and powered and active in the following planetary systems. Mercury, Earth, Mars, Ceres, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune. Ooh. Have a fully built surface base with all modules at least tier 3. That's a lot of work actually. I'm not even sure what the fastest path towards that is. Probably something like research stations, not campuses, but the standard ones. They probably have the lowest build speed to later rush these goals. Destroy all alien fleets with combat strength of 2000 or greater not belonging to our faction. Okay, there are some here currently. That's okay. Destroy all alien bases of tier 3 and greater in the Mercury, Earth, Mars, Ceres, and Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Yeah, there's some left here. Okay, so the Earth is not enough objective is still far away. What a surprise. Now we will go into this one. I think that's a good idea. We also get the predictive genetics here, but now we have to fight a battle. Here we are. Because they're intercepting us here. We were trying to intercept them, but they intercept us. And there is actually the first Titan of the aliens. Engage. I'm not too worried. The first fight we had this episode, we lost one Monitor class ship. A bit unlucky to a pretty critical plasma shot. So, happens, but I'm not worried here. Now we have to again put our point defenses here in the center. And sort these other things out. Oh, defense flagship. You go here. Oh wait, so that's a laser battleship. You go here. Okay, laser battlecruiser is there. The thing is that there are not really that many ships here. Yeah, the biggest problem are the plasma ones, but I'm not too worried. So we are going to automate the battleships for a moment. Just that they pick their own targets for everything else. The laser battleships will also pick their targets on their own. And the question is what to do with the monitors. I think I will need to take out these cruisers because they have the plasmas, right? Yeah, they have the plasmas. Okay, let's slow down a bit here. Okay, missiles are on their way. And I think what we want to do now, let's make a command group actually out of this. We are going to target down these ones pretty... let's start here. So we basically shoot a massive volley in this direction here. As soon as we can. Ouch, something died. Oh, that's a missile battleship actually. That's hurtful. That is not cool. Ooh, these mech cannons are overwhelming us here. That's really a problem. So let's... I didn't do with the whole fleet. I did only with part of the fleet. So I want to shoot down... Actually the Titan, that's way too dangerous here. So we are going to take losses here. Okay, let's auto-target the rest here. That should be fine. Yeah, we did quite... That did hurt, what happened here. Another missile battleship down. At least we got a lot of them, but... Okay, another cruiser. 2 cruisers. Okay, we won, but we took quite some losses here. I think 3 or 4 ships went down, which hurts. Man, this Titan is beefy. Yeah, there are some holes in our formation. At least 3 ships went down. 4, I think, even. Ugh, that hurts. Ugh. We have another fight upcoming, so that is really not cool. Ooh, yeah, we lost 1, 2, 3, 4 missile battleships. Ooh. Ooh. Not cool. Totally not cool. Okay, we will fly home and then repair. But we are down to 17 ships, so that's annoying. Because we know there's another fight with 15. Yeah, 15. Even though these are lighter ones, it's mostly escorts and stuff. Only 1 battle cruiser and 1 frigate, so not that many plasma guns here, but yeah, we are going to proceed forward here. That was a nasty fight. And we are going to rebuild ships there. Well, here we are. We now have again a spy in the servants, so we have turned someone. And that's of course very useful, because with the finishing up of Pakistan on Earth, we have done a little bit of, let's say, lying back. So we are repairing our armies here, we are building up our economy and mission control. We do have a limit of 86 now, so that's another 11 that we can make here over time. And of course that gave us a lot of population from these Pakistani provinces, and they also lacked the mission control in the end. So we can exploit on this, and we are going to relax a bit. The next expansion goal would be to probably target the West African community here. And probably we start on the west side and then move inwards, but it's not, we are not in a hurry here. So this would be another 400 population that we could acquire relatively easily. But as said, we are not in a hurry here. Also, it's dirt cheap, not cheap, but poor, though that's also a problem. And meanwhile, the EU is also readily expanding mission control and going up in that regard. Although we are losing cohesion again. Why? Why are we losing cohesion again? I don't know. Yeah, we need to get rid of inequality again, so let's boost that up a bit more. And, but most importantly, we are now going into the United States here. The Yinshi here has gotten the orc from our faction project, the Ferricides Masters, which gives us 15 persuasion, 5 investigation, 10 espionage, and 5 command. So this one is really useful for everything we need to do. And currently we are pushing the opinion here, so that we get up to like 30 or 40%. That's our goal here. And then afterwards we can try to break the Americas and then kick the servants out. That's more or less the... how to say this? They have 459 control points. So this one would be their main income. Yeah, that's the right word. That's their main income. And therefore they would be getting weakened significantly from this. And ideally, we can somehow throw them off into some kind of dead loop, more or less. We can also see the agents now. So we are probably going to go after some of them. I'm not sure which we got, but we are going to weaken them further now while we try to take over the US. And hopefully we can do this. That would cost us 180 points. We do have this as a capacity here, so all should be fine. And afterward, we could actually consider to either split it up or expand it to the greater United States as I usually do. So we combine Mexico and America and so on, but that's a lot of research we would need to invest. But most importantly, it's just to break the US out of the rest here. And then we get also another 500 science here, which is useful. And of course, a massive amount of mission control that could potentially be built here. So we are going to make sure that we invest into this. Yeah. Meanwhile, we are progressing into antimatter production here almost now. And we picked up Mind and Machine here for getting into Accelerando, which we need to actually make the particle accelerators on Mercury when we reconquered it eventually. And the designer life forms to get to the agriculture complex that we need as well. And meanwhile, we upgrade to the green laser batteries here, green arc laser batteries, for a well-needed upgrade on our ship's power. Meanwhile, we are also upgrading our stations to the research university. That's going to cost us almost a year, a lot of volatiles, because our income has gone down due to the farms not working properly and so on. Until then, this is how we have to survive here. But we have most of our fleets under construction. The Jupiter fleet is going to be complete in 45 days. And of course, on Earth, we are constructing the new Mercury fleet, but also new missile battleships for our defenses here. This, however, will take more time because we are only in the first branch of the Mercury ships, more or less. And yeah, new Jupiter classes here. Yeah. So we are going to build more Jupiter stuff here eventually, but that's going to take a year as well. Overall, we do have now 16 additional costs when all HEP modules are done, which are mostly the universities. But we also made some command centers, which we have unlocked. And then we have 72 in mission control for ships. So the question now is, could we or should we? I think yes. So let's take over another base on Mercury, not Mars here. Just get more mining. But let's see, what actually do they have here? They do have... okay, they are terrible. Okay, maybe we don't do. Maybe we don't take these bases here. Not worth it. And yeah, so we just wait for Mercury actually. And also what I want to pick up eventually, however, Accelerando will be another 100,000 tech cost. Same as the antimatter propulsion tech, which is going to be next after this one, is the mission to the outer planets tech for another 6 capacity on our allowed mines. That's going to be useful, but that's still some while away. Yeah, and here we are going to proceed a little bit further to see if we can break into the US. Oh well, here we are in September, and we are going to send out our Jupiter fleet here. For this, first of all, we need to rename the capital ship. Where are you? Here. Colorado. Currently, we are going to... Because someone proposed it, I like the idea. We're going to call it Lucky Charm. And hopefully that will work out. So that will bring us luck towards Mercury. Jupiter, not Mercury. And I already upgraded the laser battleships here to the green arc lasers now. Did I also upgrade the capital ship? No, yeah, I did. The laser cannon in front. Yes, perfect. And then we have, of course, all these coil guns here. heavy coils and batteries. So overall this fleet is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ships which have point defense and lasers, and the capital with 3 point defense. Flagship, not capital ship. And we are going to fly towards Callisto again. If we want to be somewhere, then it is Callisto. So we go low orbit here. Ooh, there's a lot of fleets actually. Ooh. Maybe we don't want to go there. 2 battleships in the Dreadnought. Ugh. Frigate. Another battleship. Ah. They are waiting for us there. 5.3k. We can't take that, probably. Even if we can, that would be extremely dangerous. Okay, we are going somewhere else. We are not going Callisto. So let's... How about Carmel? Nah. Himalaya. That sounds like a good idea. 47. We are going for Lucy Thea. At least temporarily. And we don't need to do... Ooh, the time window is terrible currently. It was once 25 weeks, but the time window here is terrible. Is it because of that asteroid? No. Callisto's also 43 weeks. What about Amathea? 57 weeks. Okay, let's go Lysithea. But 40 weeks. So we arrive in summer next year. If we arrive at all. That's a big question here. That's a very big question. But we have 23 ships. That's the biggest one we have mustered so far. 56 mission control. I would say let's go. There we are. Okay, our Mars fleet has 24 ships. Quite a lot of battleships. Yeah, this one is fine. We maybe want to add another of the newer class battleships here, laser battleships. Maybe one of the newer missile battleships just in reserve to have it. Yeah, and also the mass defense is already upgraded to the newest version. Ah, the flagship not yet. Something we would need to do, but the battle cruisers and the battleships are upgraded already. So, and the Earth fleet is not yet upgraded because we have ships under construction on Earth and therefore no capacity for upgrades. It's mostly our Jupiter, Mercury stuff which is getting built there. Ah, I was confused. Okay. But 10 milli-G is really nothing here. But yeah, fine. Yeah, and we are on our way to Jupiter now. And now the big question is, maybe do we get lucky here with America? We already have done it 3 times and we didn't get lucky.
Problem solved. Permanently.
So we are working on the counselors of
Prepping for mission.
the servants, just to get their... What is that? Okay, that's just one ship, fine. Come on, let's get lucky here.
We are winning their hearts and minds.
So if the overall admin of the servant faction is lower, then this one is easier. Yeah, 61% now. Perfect. Come on, give us a decent chance. South Sudan, we don't care. Not right now, at least. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on. Be successful, come on.
We've removed some.
Yes! Awesome! So we got the legislature, which will provide us purge bonus against the executive. And so next one, we can go after it. Awesome!
At your service.
So now our chances here are much higher, 15% actually. Yeah. Okay, so we will leave it at this episode here. Next episode we are going to break all of the Americas here. And then we have to start cleaning up all these plants here in the Americas and so on. That's going to be expensive, or rather we have the armies for this, which we are going to recall. I'm not sure where they are. 7 armies, 6 with navies here. We are going to recall them and just let them do the duty here. Alternatively, we could use our green lasers from orbit to clean up stuff. Let's see how we want to do it. Or we could just use it to farm experience points. Yeah, meanwhile, just before we wrap it up, the antimatter mass production is through. Now antimatter propulsion is on the table. And Atom Smasher is also picked up here as a project, which is just going to finish up in this next year. But we are going to push it forward eventually. And also we are continuously upgrading components here, like the targeting computer 3. And of course, what we are really looking forward to is the independent commands to reduce ship MC by 15%. We still have some capacity left here currently, but our Jupiter fleet is done, our Mercury fleet is still under construction, and we could consider to make more stuff on Mars now. But I think I'm going to save up some MC here, so that we have MC available when we get a fusion drive eventually, but also that we can make more command center stations for more MC when we feel like it. Also need to develop templates for this. And we also do designer lifeforms to do the agriculture complex, which we need for our tier 3 stations soon. And of course here will be accelerender. And after antimatter production we can go into these technologies here with the antimatter propulsion. However, now the highest priority target is the Mercury fleet. And we could actually consider to build some ships on Mars for this, and then send them to Earth, or rather align with the other fleet eventually. It might actually be a thing. The alternative... Nah, we don't really have the resources. We need to focus on Mercury now. And also we need to focus on more volatile mining. Oh, although this will go up again when the stations are finished. What do we have here? 103 output? Really? And Europa has one with 86. Yeah, probably we are going to aim for Europa here. And this one is an asteroid. It's a bit unfortunate. Okay, let's check out Europa here. Wait a second, isn't Europa... oh no, it's Jupiter. I thought for a second that was Saturn. 86. Well. Yeah, we are going to go after this one here. I mean, the others... Io is of course nice, and we theoretically have the metals to do stuff on Io here. Ganymede is decent, and Callisto is... 44 here. Yeah, so we can also take stuff on Callisto eventually. I mean, if we get our foothold here in the Jupiter system, then we are going to take out all of the mining from the aliens really quickly here in the Jupiter system. And that's the key part of resource mining compared to the only 5 stations here, which is probably also, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mining stations here at Saturn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at Uranus. And only 2 at Neptune. So if we take out Mercury, that would be massive. Of course, there's also stuff in the asteroid belt, but I didn't count it yet. But that's something we can take care of eventually as well. Well, now, leave a like and subscribe, and see you in the next episode, where everything hopefully will be proceeding quite positively.